Imagine living on the wildest part of the planet and still being locked out of financial freedom. That's the reality of many Black Americans today. That is the reality they face. Why is it that after centuries of hard work, Black people in America are still struggling to build and keep wealth? From slavery to Jim Crow segregation, Black Americans were systematically denied access to land, property, and opportunities. Even after freedom, laws like reclining stopped. Laws like redlining stopped Black families from buying homes. That particular redlining law stopped Black Americans from buying homes in good neighborhood. And without property ownership, it's almost impossible to build generational wealth. Fast forward to today, the average white family has 6 to 8 times more wealth, more than the average Black family. You heard me right. Why? Now, let me just talk about a few of those things, like 3 things, right? Let's talk about student loan debts. Black graduates carry more debts on average and pay it off slower. Then the second one, what about job discrimination? Black workers often earn less than white workers in the same role. What about housing crisis? Home ownerships rates among Black Americans are the lowest in decades. Can you imagine? Can you imagine why the thing is still the way it is? Some people say it's all about personal responsibilities. Others say the system is still designed to keep Black Americans from catching up. But the truth is, both of this play a role. Yes, financial literacy is important. But if the playing field isn't level, it's nearly impossible to win the game. Yeah. So now what you do is, let's watch these videos, right? And I'll be back with the conclusion of this particular topic that we are on to. Do not forget to like. Do not forget to drop your experiences in the comments, right? We are watching. I'll be in the comments. I'll read. We'll give you replies if possible. Watch.
I want to share something extremely important with y'all if I'm looking to cite this because I'm reading. According to several projections, if current trends continue, the median wealth for Black Americans could reach zero by 2053. This is a significant decline for Black Americans' median income by 2050. So in the next 20 to 25 years, the median income, the median wealth gap is going to increase beyond measures that if you think it's hard now, it's about to get harder in the next 20 to 25 years. I'm not talking about 100 years from now. I'm not even talking about 50 years from now. In the next 20 years, the wealth equity gap is going to be so massive that the projected wealth gap, or the projected wealth for Black Americans in the United States of America, is projected to be zero. And this is why I share resources. This is why I talk about being so stern in the amount of money that you make in career pathways, and why education is so important. I know we see a lot, particularly on social media, because that is the media platform that mostly everybody is interacting in. And there is a lot of smoke and mirrors, right? It is so important for you to understand educational pathways, career pathways as it relates to financial freedom and financial equity. Because if you think the economy is hard now, it is not going to ease up, particularly for minority groups, specifically speaking Black Americans. And so when I am referring to the achievement gap, when I'm talking about the career pathways, the educational pathways, is always in a historical context. But a lot of times we think about historical context just being slavery, or just being Jim Crow, or just being the 1970s, or just being the Civil Rights Act. And those disparities are simply just textbook and historical references. You are currently being affected by the achievement gap. You are currently being affected, not infected. You are being affected by racial inequities And the way to keep the haves and the have-nots is not giving you access to money, not giving you access to education. Again, we have heard this access or lack thereof to educational pathways and career pathways quite literally throughout the history of time for Black Americans. I want you to be so stern and ask for more. Ask for more money in your interviews. If your job is not giving you more money every 2 years, by that second year, you need to leave and find a new job. This is not, oh, well, I'm too scared. Let me tell you, you should be more scared that the median income for all Black Americans, when we're looking at this from the Bureau of Labor Statistics, from the U.S. Department of Labor, you should be more scared that wealth is projected to be at 0 for most Black Americans in the United States by 2053. That should scare you more than just sending that email asking if they're hiring. That should scare you more than applying to that graduate school. That should scare you more than not interviewing for that job or not negotiating higher. There is no excuse because time is not on your side. You need to be the person that advocates for yourself, also not just in a self-confidence bubble, right? Because a lot of times when we think about advocacy, it's through the lens of personal development and self-development. You need to advocate for yourself financially. You need to have a Roth IRA. You need to have a 401k. You need to have a high yield savings account. You need to have low to 0 credit card debt. You do not need any consumer debts. You do not need that shirt, the newest purse, the newest vacation, if you cannot put that same amount in your savings the time that you spend it. Okay? Please, please, please advocate for yourself in these spaces as it relates to college and career. If that academic institution is not tailored to your learning needs, leave and find a new one.
They got that bit mapped out perfect, bro, to keep motherfuckers poor. Have you ever noticed or paid attention to the exact amount of money that you have to spend to live in America? Is the exact same amount that you make in America. Run that back, Hayes. What the hell you mean by that? They got this bitch so set up so good and so sweet, you don't even realize. The average income in America is $39,000, $40,000. The average single person cost of living per month, all the expenses including utility, gas, food, rent, all that, gonna spend about $3,500 a month. $3,000, $35,000, depending on what area. If you in the deep country, deep south, you probably spend $2,500 or 2 bands. And it's gonna equate to what you getting paid in the deep south too. They still getting paid minimum wage, $7.50, $8 an hour. Make it make sense now. So the $3,500 average person in the U.S., $3,500 a year, 12 times a month, you looking at $40,000, damn near exactly. $40,000 being spent, calculated, $40,000 being made. That leaves you at absolutely 0. Give you just enough, give you a car so you're able to get to the job to work, give you some food, enough to be able to buy food so you can be functioning for work, give you a roof over your head, shelter, so you can wash and prepare and sleep and get ready for work, and make sure you can handle the little small stuff that you need to handle to make sure you stay afloat. Just enough now to keep coming to work though. Can never give you enough so you can not need us. Give you just enough so you can keep coming back. So it's definitely up to you to do something different. We in a different time, different day and age nowadays. You got, you can resell shit, Facebook Marketplace. You can buy some shit on Facebook Marketplace for a low price, low balling different individuals, and then repost that and sell that bitch for a higher price. You can even resell it for a higher price before even buying the product. That's how crazy shit is. So you ain't got no money tied up. I'm not going to go buy from the person for the deal until I actually sell the product. Come on, man. You got the internet. This video right here, this shit could do 1 million views, 100,000 views. That could make me a few $100s or a few $1,000s depending on what it do. Like, let's stop playing. Let's get out here and get this shit, man. You got people that's at the top of their food chain that's offering advice where you can pay them $500. Some of that shit scams, most of it scams. But if you find the right motherfucker, you just one right motherfucker away from changing your goddamn life. That's all I'm saying. A lot of that shit bullshit when you have to pay somebody for shit. But a lot of the times it be people out there that's really genuinely helping people come up under them, become millionaires with proof out here, real life proof. But you already know what to do, man. Get right.
Tell me this real quick. If black people are the biggest consumers in America, and we only make up 14% of the population, then why out of the 14% is 20% of us still living in poverty? We spending trillions, but not owning anything but a pair of Michael Jordan tennis shoes. So where's the money going? If we have all of this buying power, why are we still broke? That doesn't make sense, right? Unless somebody's profiting off us staying poor, or unless the system is designed to keep us consuming and never producing or building anything. Y'all explain that for me. How are we the biggest spenders, but somehow we're still at the bottom? Where's all of the money going?
America's designed to break you, and that's what it's doing. It's functioning the way they designed it. It's breaking all of us. It's not normal for us to be dealing with this much depression, this much worry, this much anxiety, but this is how they designed it. They put us in school when we're 5, and then you get out here and you post to work until you're 70, and then after that you get to enjoy it.
Black people have been literally begging this country and all of its citizens to see us wholly, to hear us fully since the beginning of time. The struggle to be seen and respected in this country is so intrinsically woven throughout the fabric of who we are. It's motivating, inspiring, but somewhat depressing. If you think about how much it's affected the Black culture, from our music to artists like Nina Simone, all the way to Ice Cube, Public Enemy, Tupac, Kendrick Lamar, Curtis Mayfield, have spoken about our struggle and seeing us. Our books, we have authors like Zora Neale Hurston, Langston Hughes, Alex Haley, Toni Morrison, Alice Walker, Michael Harriot, Ta-Nehisi Coates now. Our television shows, there's not a television show that doesn't have classic scenes in it, whether it be from The Cosby Show to Sanford and Son, that talks about our struggle. Our academicians, our preachers, from Martin Luther King Jr. to Jesse Jackson to Jeremiah Wright to Eric Dyson. We have marched, we have written, we have sung, we have boycotted, we have had freedom rides, we have had civil disobedience, yes, we have gone silent, and we have screamed. We have died. Many of us have died just to get people to listen to our struggle and to make changes and to give us civil rights. And so I've been watching a lot of videos lately, and I hear people say, this isn't America. And it's always been our America. This has always been our America. I watched another video the other day, and there's a Latino woman crying, and she says, they're hunting us. We've always felt hunted. I've heard people complaining about what good, hardworking, decent people they are, and yet they're being defined by a very small minority who may have broken laws. It's exactly how we have felt. So we have sympathy and we have empathy, but this isn't new to us. We knew, we've known, which is why we begged, we pleaded, we wrote again, we marched again, we stood next to polls, we did everything. We were desperate because we knew, as we've always known, how bad it was going to be. Not how bad it could be, but when we were told, because everything that we're seeing now, we were told was going to be, nobody believed it, but we knew. We believed them because we had been living it. And so we begged, not for you to vote and to vote the best with the best option we had at the time. And not just to save us, because we've always been here, but really fighting to save you, to save this country, to save democracy. And you didn't listen then. And so you have to understand the frustration, the hesitancy to get, but so involved. The only time you saw us is when you became us. And you too realize that you too are niggas. But we still don't know if you really see us. We still don't know if you've had that aha moment, that you recognize that we're all in this together. Or the minute that this country gets its foot off your necks, the minute you feel as if you have a chance at white adjacency again will you desert us? Like, do you get it now? Or if we step up, if we try to unite with you and help, are you going to remember now? Because this isn't the first time that any groups have been discriminated against, but it seems to happen. And then as soon as white supremacy taunts you, you go back and you forget. So that you must understand is, how do we trust you? How do we trust you?
I was on Twitter, minding my black business, and it was this tweet from some, I don't know, girl, woman, child, sound like a child. But she's basically saying that, like, when she has kids or her kids, they're going to have to buy their own car. Like, she's not going to buy her kids a car and everything, like, because she had to work for it, her kids are going to work for it. And I got a hot take for this. To the black community, specifically in America, okay, the USA. I feel like because we have been oppressed for so long and because our history in this country, I feel like we have been normalized to accept poverty as a basis for living and to accept the bare minimum for raising our children. And I say this because I know in a black household, the most commonly said thing is, I put a roof over your head, you got clothes on your back, and you got food in the refrigerator. And that was supposed to be the epitome of good parenting. Like, literally, ask any black person. We ungrateful if we ask for anything outside of that or don't appreciate that. All I understand how hard it is to, support just myself. So I can't even imagine how my parents supported me and put me through the things they went through. I think we need to be real and start speaking to the fact that a lot of people in the black community knowingly birth children into poverty, knowing at the moment that they get pregnant, they cannot afford to bring that child into the world. And what I mean by afford, let me go there. Being able to provide the basic luxuries of a child's life, period. There's no reason why your child shouldn't be able to explore the world, vacations, traveling, little kiddie events and things like that. Like, a child should not be subjected to just a basic minimal going outside, going to school, going home. Like, that's very limited experience in life. It's also been normalized that when you turn 18 in a black household, that you are now responsible for yourself. For your phone bill, some people get it a lot earlier than that. You now have to start contributing to the household. And while I understand that we want to teach our children how to be responsible, there are so many ways to teach your child how to be responsible without making them struggle. Why in the world would I want my children to go through the same things I went through financially? The whole reason I work as hard as I do is so that by the time I start having children, they can have the life that they deserve, the life that I wish I would have got as a child. And I know that some people say, oh, so you just want to do what you didn't get. No, I just want them to have experiences that I feel like any child should have. It shouldn't be the exact experiences that I wanted, but yeah, I should be able to take my child and do things with them and them not to have to worry about anything. I want to be able to buy them a car. I want to be able to put them through college or support their dreams. Whatever it is financially, I want to have their backing. And we need to discuss why this is not common in the black community. It is getting out of hand, honestly.
See what I'm saying? I knew it was going to be somebody talking about, oh, make some more money. The lady going to come in my comments talking about, I don't have a poor mindset. I'm just going to go make some more money. But with Housing Connect, my thing is not about making no more money. The income requirements for how much they want you to pay do not add up. I do not know where they got the requirements from. Somebody said that these are some old requirements that they haven't updated in years, but it doesn't make any sense. There's something on the Housing Connect website that says $86,000 to like $111,000, $3,000 for a studio or one bedroom. If you make $86,000, you shouldn't even qualify for nothing paying $3,000. That's way more than a third of your income. It's not about going out and making more money. It's the fact that they shouldn't have even tried to charge you $3,000 from the beginning if they're going by your income. If they're going by your income, $86,000 should not be up there for no $3,000 rent. It don't make no sense. So to homegirl, I'm pretty sure I already told her to block me, so I know she probably already blocked me on the page. She can't even see this. But girl, it ain't about making no more money. It's about these requirements not making no sense. And who do we need to speak to so that we can get these requirements changed, because it doesn't make no sense. $86,000, even if you make $100,000. You make $100,000 before taxes, you shouldn't be paying $3,000 rent. You're going to be house poor. You're going to be rent poor. You're going to be sitting in your house doing nothing because you don't have no business paying no $3,000 rent. If you only make $100,000, that's like what, $80,000, $75,000 after taxes? Let's be for real now. It's not about making no more money. Bye, and then go talk about I don't have a poor mindset. I'm just want to go, girl, bye. Don't play with me. Like I said, we need to rally and do something because this don't make no sense. Bye.
Okay, so Roman over here is a typical liberal that's going to tell me that I'm oppressed because of the color of my skin. Literally, what evidence do you have that shows we live in a post-racial society? There is plenty of evidence showing that Black Americans experience systemic racism on all levels. What evidence? Me. Not once in life have I been held back by the system. Do you know how many Black Americans voted for Trump in 2024? According to Pew Research Center, 3.1 million voters. And I can say with confidence, in all of my almost 30 years on this earth, I have yet to meet a black conservative who has a victim mentality. That's the left's ideology. The belief that there is a system in place on all levels having us suppressed and oppressed. Identity politics is not Republican. Safe to say, and please correct me, black conservatives, do you believe that you are a victim in the system or a victim in America because of the color of your skin? Are there things in 2025 that are holding you back? 3.1 million voters. Let me know. Because you know what's interesting? As a black conservative, every time I tell someone, whether black, Hispanic, like Roman, I'm assuming, or white liberals especially, they discount my story. They discount. They say, oh, your story is just one in millions. It's irrelevant. You're an anomaly. Oh, that's a rare case. Oh, well, somehow you seeped through the system. Well, what about the 3.1 million that may not have that mentality of being a victim? Do our voices not matter? Oh, they don't, right, because they don't fit the leftist narrative of little old black folk needing a white savior.
Every time black progress happens, America always pulls the rug. And this ain't new. We had Reconstruction. Then came Jim Crow. We had the Civil Rights Movement. Then came Nixon's war on black communities. And we got Obama. And then came Trump. Do you see the pattern? This country never gave up on racism. It just evolved it, coded it, tucked it behind slogans like states' rights and law and order. And now that Trump is back in power the second time, they don't even bother with the code anymore because they don't have to. And then some of you are shocked. But this is how white supremacy always responds to black excellence, with backlash. Every time we rise, they always retaliate. Keep in mind, history keeps receipts. You see the pattern? Because I know I do.
Welcome back. Now, this is all I have to say. What do you think will change all of this? What do you think? Right? Is the system designed, right? Okay. What do you think will change the cycle? Reparations? Stronger communities support? More black-owned businesses? Or will the gap keep growing? What do you think? What do you think? Is the system designed to keep black Americans poor? Or is it time we take full control of our financial future? Drop your thoughts in the comments, right? Do not forget to like, subscribe, and share. I'd like to actually hear from you, right? I want to hear what you think. Have you been thinking out loud? Or do you think all of this is in myth and it's not real? I would like to see if you've been sharing the same thoughts. I'd like to see it in the comments, right? Do not forget to stay black bold. Do not forget to stay beautiful and global on Global Gist with BJ. I love you all. Bye, guys.